Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to go ahead and do my budget review for June 2019. There's a couple different parts that I'm going to talk about. I am going to run through my entire budget, and then I have some notes written down as far as like wins and losses for the month and then goals for next month. So just to completely level with you, I have an Airbnb guest staying here right now, so I would have preferred to do this video in my office, but I think they're taking a nap in there, and the bedroom is right next to my office, so I don't really want to go through all my financials with some strangers that can probably hear me in the next room. So I'm doing it in my bedroom. As you can see, my lovely headboard, my lovely cow picture behind me, laptop's propped up on some pillows, so least flattering angle ever, and my dogs are semi-wrestling next to me on the bed, so if you get jostled, that's why. So let's just kind of dive right in. I'm just going to run you through my budget. So you can see what I had planned with at the beginning of the month, which was my set paycheck as well as money left over from the previous month because I had not been budgeting well and I had money sitting there from like April and May. So I had budgeted with around $4,000, and then what I actually ended up with at the end of the month, throughout the month, was $10,364.27. So most of the difference there came from my other paycheck for the month, which is a variable paycheck, depending on how well I do for the month. And then I also brought in around $85 from my Etsy shop, which is great. I did have some Airbnb guests, but that money did not make it into my account until July. So there's hopefully a lot more where that came from. So that's all very good. So this is what I ended up using for the month. Coming on down. My rent was $16.99, so that's my rent, my water, my Wi-Fi, and my trash and recycling pickup. It's all included, so of course paid that. Electric was a little bit less than I planned. I had planned around $90 since it's summer and we're starting to use the AC quite a bit more. And then also my sister was staying with me, so I knew my usage would be a bit more. It ended up only being around 78 because she runs Cool, so I actually didn't run the AC as much with her here as I probably would have if it was just me. Moving on down, I did use my dog walker a handful of times in the month of June, but she never ended up picking up the check that I wrote for her yet, so she will get that, but that ended up being $0. TV and YMCA are standard. They both went through. Audible is my one monthly fee that went through. Apple Music, I ended up canceling. Very proud of myself. Netflix did get paid. Hulu, I canceled. Ipsy, I kept. Apple Cloud Storage, I kept. And then Kindle, I paid, but I did cancel it. So I finally figured out that that's like a different fee from Audible. I thought they were related, and I don't even have a Kindle, so I don't even know why I was paying that, and I also don't even know how long I was paying for it, so I'm glad that's gone. Prime Video, I finally figured out what this charge was for. It's not for Prime Video, which is obviously free. It was like Stars that was free for 4 months or something with my Fire Stick, and I've been paying for it for the last 2 months. So went ahead and removed that, and they actually did credit it back to me as well for the previous month. My lawn care, he did not give me a bill for the month, so I don't know. I'm really hoping he doesn't end up giving me like a 2-month bill for the month of July, because that would be hefty and kind of annoying, but we'll see. And then my cushion here, after I went through everything, didn't have anywhere else to put it. I had a cushion of this amount, $218.58. So yeah, so that was sitting there. And then when I originally budgeted, I had $700 left over that I wanted to add on additionally to my loans. So that part of my budget's fine. Throughout most of the month, like probably 3/4 of the month, everything went well. And then you'll see down here, like towards the end of the month, the wheels kind of came off, which is okay. I mean, it's fine. Well, it's life. So we'll look at my grocery section. So the main thing that messed me up on groceries was I forgot that my CSA box that I get, my produce box, I thought I had paid for the whole thing at the beginning of the summer, like for the entire summer. I forgot that they bill it monthly, so I didn't really account for that. So that was $117 right at the beginning of the month for the month. And then I did have a grocery shop in the middle I wasn't really planning on, and then this grocery shop at the end I was planning on that being like $30, and it wasn't. So I did spend $60 at Walmart on groceries and household things as well, and then $74 at BJ's. Some of that was dog stuff and some of it groceries. And then at the end of June, I was just gonna get like a few things to make a few recipes, and then I got into Giant and like kind of went hog wild and got a lot of stuff for a lot of different recipes. But I do think this will carry me through probably at least half the month of July. So that's, okay, we'll find out how that actually worked out. Eating out did really well with this until the very, very end of the month as well. So let's see. I also got sweet frog at the beginning of the month with my sister. I was generous and got myself rise up as well as a friend. So that's a local coffee chain that I'm like deeply obsessed with. Got fast food, cheaped out at Lefties, which is good. This is like I go every other week with some of my coworkers. We usually get drinks and dinner, but I had eaten at home and I like wasn't hungry at all, so I just got a drink, which was fine. So that actually saved me some money. Sorry, checking my phone. Fast food kind of messed me up a few times there. That's probably just me being lazy and getting dinner at a drive-through. Same thing there. Iron Hill, I treated my sister. She was staying with me for 2 months. She's almost done with PT school, so she's kind of on the home stretch. So I wanted to treat her her last night that she would be in town with me. I don't regret that, but it definitely was frivolous. This is fast food as well. This is me being lazy and getting dinner from Panera one night rather than just going home and eating dinner during work. And then right here at the end of the month, this is like what took it from, yeah, I'm over budget to like, holy crap, I'm way over budget. So 2 nights in a row last weekend, two of my friends were in town. One of them was planned, one of them was kind of a surprise, but I wasn't expecting to get dinner with either. But, you know, it's summer and I kind of want to have some fun, and technically I can't afford to, but it's fine. I'm living my life, and it made me happy. So I had a nice dinner out with my friend Kate. We also had Thrashers that day for lunch, which is like local French fry place. Like they're a meal of their own. They're so good. If you've had Thrashers, you know. Let's see, what was this? Oh, Papa John's. I had a really bad day at work and I literally ordered a cheeseless Papa John's pizza when I got home. So this is probably the one thing from the month, like in addition to all the little other fast foods, but this one, regret. Would not do that again. Wasn't good, wasn't worth it, was a stressed out, like split second decision of me not wanting to cook. Just ridiculous. And then this was dinner with my friend Allie, which actually was not that night. I'm trying to be better about putting the actual date on there so that like the timeline makes sense. Yeah, so that was there. Don't regret that either. That was Indian food, super good. I just regret that it cost so much. All right, so Slush Fund. I probably would have been fine with this one as well, except that I got somewhat coerced into going to a nursery with some of my coworkers, and then a new coworker at work who like I adore. So I'm trying to spend time with her. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna buy a single plant. I don't need any plants. It didn't work, girl. It didn't work. So, a lot of this as well was like parking. Pretty much anywhere that you would do anything fun around here, go to the beach, go to restaurants, or anything, you have to pay for parking. So, you'll see in my July budget, I did give myself more room in my slush fund just to kind of account for that parking. It is summer. It's my favorite time of year. I do almost nothing fun in the winter, so I feel like I deserve to have a little fun in the summer. I'm not willing to take that away from myself. Sorry, my puppy's barking. So you can see parking here. I did need some new like cheapy, okay to wear in the water flip flops. So that was actually 2 pairs of flip flops for $10. So no regrets there. My sister and I got pedicures together before she left, and I got my eyebrows waxed, which was needed. If I knew how much I was going to end up spending the rest of the month, I might not have done this, but it is what it is. I did keep a pair of pants from one of my Stitch Fix boxes. I always need work clothes, so it's kind of justifiable. It's annoying, but I'm wondering if I might be able to deduct it from my taxes because obviously, like, I have to dress professional for work, so it is what it is. I bought myself a plant at Walmart that was perfect. It's one I've been looking for forever, so I didn't regret that. And then, oops, I spent 73 freaking dollars on plants and planters with my friend at this nursery. Like this nursery, Peppers, it is so good. I every time I go in there, like I find something I have to have, and my one friend and I decided that like we need to walk in the reverse order because the way that we go through it now, we like the first thing you walk into is houseplants and tropicals, and like tropicals are my life. Like that's exactly what I want. And like she's kind of the same. She likes like ferns, which are like in the houseplant section. So we go there when we're all excited. Like that's the first thing we see. We grab a million things, and then by the time we're like sick of it and want to leave, we're like in the edibles and like annual flowers and stuff, which we don't care about, so we don't care anyway. So we're like, yeah, we need to go in the opposite order. So by the time we get to the houseplants and tropicals, we're like ready to be done. We just want to leave. We don't want to spend any more money. So yeah, I'm going to try very, very hard to not spend more than like $20 on plants and plant related things in the month of July, but we will see if that works. Okay, and then more parking, of course. So that was that. I'm not that mad at myself, really. Just freaking peppers, dang it. um, and then unbudgeted, I only went a little bit over this, which is honestly a miracle. I did have some like business related expenses, so I had to send something through the postal service. I did get an Uber one day, and then this was like kind of business expenses for my Airbnb. I needed another like full set of towels, so I went and got them. So that was that, and you'll see in my July budget, I made a separate category for business expenses, which is necessary. Like, it makes it easier to have it separate. And then this Cricut expense, I don't know what that is. It's like something I got charged for, and I'm kind of trying to figure it out. I don't know. I'm not like subscribed to their monthly thing that I'm aware of, so I just need to double check that. And then Amazon, I needed some things on Amazon, so um, all right, coming on down to the debt department. My credit card, I made my normal monthly payment, and then I also paid an additional 108 here at the beginning of the month, and then basically every time that I went through and paid something that I put on my card, like to pay to keep up with it, basically. I just rounded up or like added an extra $100. So I did end up throwing like an extra, in total, $308 to my credit card. My student loans, I paid the minimum on all of them except for loan number 10, which is my highest interest rate one. So most of you probably know I'm paying my loans in order of highest interest rate. Since I have such high balances on all my student loans, it doesn't really make sense for me to go in snowball form, so smallest amount to highest, because they're all very high. So like that incentive of getting one paid off quickly and moving on to the next one doesn't apply. But some of like the interest rates are very different between them, so it makes a lot more sense financially for me to attack the one with the highest interest first. So that's what I'm doing. So my minimum payment for that one is $43.32, which of course got paid right at the beginning of the month. I threw an extra $700 at it. Then there's my minimum payment. Then on the 7th, after I got my like other big paycheck for the month, I threw $4,500 at it. And then later in the month, why does that say July 14th? That is not accurate. It was probably more like June 20th. So later in the month, I threw another 1,000 and then another 500 at it. So the total amount that I applied to that loan this month was $6,743.32, which I'm quite happy with. Then my emergency funds, I didn't really track things very well in my emergency funds. I did spend a little bit of money on my pets. They needed some treats. Like I have these chewy bone things that I give them whenever they go in the crate, like when I'm leaving them for, a while. So I did go ahead and get some of those when we were at BJ's. And then I got a gift for one of my coworkers that she's impossible to buy for. So I'm glad I found something that's appropriate for her. So that's kind of that part of the month. Let's go ahead and talk about like my wins and losses and things. Probably one of the biggest wins for me this month was canceling all those freaking subscriptions. So as the month went through, I realized that like I was still technically paying for HBO and Stars, which, like I said, were free with my Fire Stick for several months, but I didn't realize they had rolled over and I was now paying for them. So I canceled Hulu, HBO, Stars, Kindle, which I didn't even know I had a subscription for, and Apple Music. So in all, that was like, 7 plus 9, so 16 plus 12, so 28 plus 10, 38 plus 10, 48. So I'm saving like $50 a month now because of canceling all those things. So yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. My next win was I went to my friend's son's birthday party. I wasn't planning to go. I had planned to go, and then like when it was getting close, I was just so exhausted, so tired, and I didn't have a present. And then the day of, I was like, I really want to go. Like, I really want to see my friends. I'm gonna feel guilty if I don't go, but I didn't have a gift. So I had another friend who I had gotten. This is so bad, but it's reality, you know. I had another friend who I got a Christmas present for her son, and then ended up not seeing them. So it was like sitting there, still wrapped, looking cute and everything. I literally regifted it. It's still age appropriate, super cute gift. Would have totally gone to waste if I didn't do this. So I'm very proud of myself for that. The next one is that I added several new listings to my Etsy shop, which is awesome. Had plenty of orders from Etsy this month. And then I moved some money over from like cyberspace. So I had money on my Twin Spires account, which is like a gambling account. They had a deal last year, I think, for the Preakness that if you put $5 in your account, you would get like a $20 free to gamble. So I made like one bet. It was like a $1 bet, and I got like all this free money. But it was sitting there. Like, I had forgotten about it since last year. So I just went ahead and moved it over. So $36 into my account. And then I moved money over from my Venmo, which like I'm really bad about just like letting it sit there and never ever using it. So I moved that into my account. And then probably the biggest one was that since my sister, who had been staying with me for one of her like clinical externship type of things, she finally left and went back home. And like, I wish she was still here because I adore her and it was so fun having her. But it did allow me to open up my guest bedroom back for Airbnb guests. So I will tell you, literally within 24 hours of me opening up my calendar on Airbnb, I had like 5 bookings. So this first week of having it open, I've had 4 bookings occur already. I have another one coming tomorrow and then one the following day. And I thought I had it set so that they had to give me like 24 to 48 hours warning before they showed up. But apparently I have like auto book turned on and all this stuff. So all these things got booked that I wasn't planning on. But it's so hard to say no. Like, the little notification pops up on my phone and it's like, will you accept this booking? And it's like the money amount is right there. So if you click no, it's like, oh, I'm going to say no to $100. So it's hard to say no to. So I've made quite a bit of money through there already, and expecting quite a bit more. And then another win was that I had been meaning for quite some time to, in addition to the listing for my guest bedroom, make a listing for my whole house for whenever I'm out of town. So it's not very often, and it's usually only like 1 or 2 nights in a row, but I can make more money by having the whole house with me not here booked rather than just a guest bedroom, obviously, because, you know, some people prefer to not interact, like not have me right here with my dogs while they're here. So I had kind of been dragging my feet on that. I don't know why. I was just being lazy, really. So I did finally make that listing actually literally yesterday, and I've had a little bit of interest in it so far. And there's only like 3 days, I think, this summer that are available that I know of. But I may add more like in the fall and then in the winter when I go on vacation, which might be over Christmas. So I might actually get a good booking then, which would be nice. So I'm proud of myself for making that listing. Okay, so fails. I realized that I really need a business category in my budget. I did have some expenses, and like I've known this for a while, and I do this often, but I'm finally making myself make a business category in my budget. That way, I don't feel like I'm taking from another budget category and using it for business expenses. Another fail, as always, was fast food, too much fast food, and then also I under budgeted um, for like fun stuff and like eating out since it's summer now. I didn't really realize how much I would be wanting to do more social things. So just, you know, I definitely blew the budget on that this month. So just kind of something to be aware of for future months. And then also, I really need a gas and travel category. So previously, I had been using like a gift card for like years, literally years, like a gas gift card that my whole family shares. And I'm not able to use it anymore. Like, it's all used up. So I have to pay for my own gas now for the first time in a while. So I really do need to add like a gas and travel category, or else take it out of unbudgeted, I guess, but it would make more sense to have a category for it. So I don't right now. I forgot to make one for this month, so it's going to come out of unbudgeted as usual, and that is what it is. So I do need to make a category for that, and then that way, if I ever use like an Uber or something, it can come out of that category as well. The other bummer was that I had one of my goals for the month was to add some more things on Poshmark. I did not do that. I did sell one thing on Poshmark this month that had been on there for like ever, but I have quite a few more things that I want to list and can list on Poshmark, and I just need to basically suck it up and do that. So I had one more thing that's technically a fail, but to me it's kind of a draw. I mean, it is technically a fail, but it doesn't really feel like it. So, since we're as of the end of June, halfway through the year, I just kind of evaluated one of my New Year's resolutions, like my financial New Year's resolution, which was to pay down 80 grand on my student loans for the year. So obviously halfway through the year, I should have paid 40 on my loan so far, and I have not. So I added it all up, and as of the end of June, I have paid $36,881.99 on my student loans, which means that I am $3,118.01 under where I want to be and where I need to be to make my goal for the year. So there's like a couple reasons why this isn't that much of a bummer to me. It's still a ton. Like, if I was just paying my minimum payment, I would have paid like not even $1,000 this year already. So I'm really proud of myself for what I have done so far. But it does kind of put the pressure on to make that goal for the rest of the year. So if I keep doing what I have been and do the same the second half of the year as the first half of the year, I'll end up having paid like I added it up, but I didn't write it down, like 73 grand, I think, which is still like a super win. Like, I was just talking about this with my dad, and he's like, yeah, your goal was 80, but if you still do 73 this year, like, that's pretty freaking good. But I am goal driven. I made the goal for myself, so I want to make the goal, which means that for the rest of the year, I will have to do at least $7,186.34 in payments on my loans to make my goal for the year. So I don't necessarily know if that's possible in my regular job, because like for the summer months, it may be possible, but in the winter months, things are probably going to slow down. I probably will be making less on my production checks. And then I don't know where I'm going to get that excess money from, basically. So I need to budget better, tighten up. That will be easier to do when summer's over, the tightening up portion. And then like my birthday's in the fall, so I may get some money from there. And then I am really trying to maximize, sorry, my dog's itching herself and jostling my laptop. You done? Okay. So I'm really trying to maximize like my side hustles, my Airbnb things this summer. That's really like definitely the biggest money maker that I have available to me right now. And I can make way more money on it in the summer than I can in the winter. So I'm trying to do that. I'm really, I feel like if I can hit it really, really hard this summer, then it may make up for not being able to do as much in the winter. So that's just kind of where we're at with that. So like I said, it's kind of a loss. Technically it's a fail, but I'm feeling pretty good about it. So we'll see what ends up happening. So my goals for next month are finally get some dang things listed on Poshmark. I literally might go do that right now. It's like 2:30 in the afternoon right now, so I don't have to be at work until 8 p.m. I work overnight, so I have a couple of good hours of daylight that I can take some dang pictures and put them on Poshmark. So I may do that. I want to make more Etsy listings, so that's also something that I can do like on my overnights. I'm going to try to make lists of things that I can do to work my side hustles when I'm at work on my overnights when there's a lull, rather than just like watching YouTube or whatever. So that's probably one that I can do is work on my Etsy listings as long as I bring my laptop with me. And then something else that will really, really help me is to meal plan and stick to it. I've been pretty good with it this week after having that Papa John's blip over the weekend. I was feeling pretty bad about myself, beating myself up for that. Didn't enjoy it at all. So that just kind of drove home that like I cook better food than what I can eat, than what I can get for $30. Like, come on. So there's that, and then meal plan and stick to it, and then also intentional grocery shopping. So even though I did have a really big grocery bill from last week, it wasn't just like walking through and picking random stuff. It was like, this is for this meal, this is for this meal, this is for this meal. So I probably have 2 to 3 weeks worth of meals ready and planned. So I should not need any more groceries really at all, because I still will be getting my weekly produce box from the like CSA local thing. So that should be able to supplement me for fruits and veggies, and I think I'll be good. I'm really going to continue to try to eat out of my pantry, eat out of my fridge and freezer, and maybe like it would be super cool if I could make it through the rest of the month of July and not need to go to the grocery store at all. So that would be super cool. But anyway, that's everything. I'm sorry. I think this video was super long. I'm sorry for the awkward angle, the awkward lighting, the awkward floral cow behind me. Like, I love that picture. But yeah, so that's kind of my July budget report card. There were some wins, some losses. I think, like, technically, if you look at the lists, they're like pretty much even. So the wins are up there and the losses are down here. And then my like financial situation in the middle, I don't really count that as a win or a loss. It's kind of neutral. So I think I would give myself like, let's call it a C plus, because I went over in a lot, but I did definitely have some wins that I'm really proud of myself for. So we're gonna give it a C plus, which my little perfectionist soul hates, but it's not a fail. Okay, you know, C's get degrees, right? So that's passing technically. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and end this here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.